There's something fascinating about the way our inner world shapes how others perceive us. When people notice that someone looks younger than their age, they often chalk it up to genetics or good skin care. But there's a much deeper layer to it, a spiritual layer that we often overlook. You see, the essence of youth is not found in physical things, but in the energy we carry within us. This energy stems from a connection to the timeless part of ourselves, the part untouched by the ticking clock. Think about it, our inner self doesn't age. It exists beyond the confines of time, unchanging and eternal. When we live in alignment with this inner self, it reflects outwardly. You've met people like this before they seem ageless. Not because their faces are free of lines, but because there's something vibrant, something alive about them. It's as if they've tapped into a deeper truth, one that allows them to transcend the marks that time would typically leave. This isn't something that happens by accident. It's cultivated consciously or unconsciously by how we live and how we think. When we embrace the present moment, when we're truly engaged with life, we're drawing from that well of timelessness within us. Stress, worry, and regret are what age us not just emotionally, but physically. These things pull us away from the present, anchoring us to things that no longer matter or things that haven't even happened yet. They create tension in our bodies and cloud in our minds, and that tension etches itself onto our faces. But when you live in the moment, when you stop carrying the weight of yesterday and stop fearing tomorrow, your entire being relaxes. That relaxation is the foundation of a youthful presence. People who exude youthfulness often have something in common. They're deeply connected to themselves. This doesn't mean they've figured everything out, or that their lives are perfect. It simply means they've cultivated an awareness of who they are beyond their roles, their achievements, or their age. They've realized that the essence of who they are is not defined by the number of years they've lived. And once you start to see yourself in this way, it changes how others see you too. This is where practices like mindfulness, gratitude, and self-reflection come in. They aren't just spiritual buzzwords, they're tools for reconnecting with a part of you that's timeless. When you're mindful, you're fully present. And in that presence, you're drawing from an energy that doesn't age. Gratitude works similarly. When you focus on what you have instead of what you lack, you're aligning with a sense of abundance, and that abundance naturally radiates outward. Some might call this energy your life force or your soul's light. Whatever you name it, it's undeniably powerful. And the more you nurture it, the more it shows. It's in the way you carry yourself, the way you speak, and even the way you look. People sense it, even if they can't put their finger on what it is. This doesn't mean you should strive to appear youthful as some kind of goal. That's not the point. The point is to live in harmony with your inner self, to honor the part of you that is unchanging and eternal. The youthful appearance is merely a byproduct of that alignment. So, if you've ever wondered why someone might say you look younger than your years, consider this: it may be less about your skin or your routine and more about your spirit. When you nurture the timeless part of you, it shows. And that's not something that can be bottled or bought, it's something that must be lived. After all, what people see on the outside is just a reflection of what's happening within. The way we experience life often determines how life reflects back at us. And one of the most profound influences on how others perceive us is the emotional state we carry within. The energy of youthfulness isn't just about physical vitality, it's rooted in emotional freedom. You see, emotions shape not only our inner world, but also the way we interact with the outer world. When we carry unresolved pain, resentment, or fear, those emotions weigh us down. They become visible in the way we move, the way we speak, and yes, even in the way we look. But here's the beautiful thing: when you release those emotions, when you free yourself from the chains of emotional baggage, you create space. Space for joy, for curiosity, for the lightness that comes with living fully in the moment. That lightness is magnetic. It's the kind of energy that makes people say there's something different about you, or you seem younger than you did last time I saw you. This doesn't mean you ignore your emotions or push them aside. Quite the opposite. It means you allow yourself to feel them, to process them, and then to let them go. Emotional repression is what creates tension. Think about how a clenched fist feels after a while, tight, restricted, and painful. Now imagine holding that tension in your body for years. It's exhausting, and it takes a toll on your spirit and appearance. When you allow yourself to feel fully, you're giving those emotions the space to move through you rather than settle within you. Anger, sadness, fear, they all have a place. They're natural responses to life's challenges. But when you cling to them, when you refuse to let them flow, they solidify. They become part of the story you carry with you, etched not just into your mind, but into your face, your posture, your very being. The trick isn't in avoiding emotional pain, it's in embracing it with the understanding that it's not permanent. Like a storm passing through, emotions are meant to move, and once they do, they leave behind a kind of clarity, a calm that feels like sunlight after rain. That calmness is where your emotional youth resides. It's what allows you to approach life with wonder and openness, qualities often associated with the young.